Hello. So, good morning to everyone. Myself is assistant professor, Siddharth Institute of Science and Technology. Okay. Today I am going to discuss about some of the basic things regarding to communication. So today we are going to discuss about some of the contents, introduction to communication system and modulation and need for modulation. The introduction to communication system. Introduction to communication system. So before going to introduction to communication system, first we have to know about what is meant by signal and what is meant by system. Signal is whatever the data is going to be transferred, that is signal. System is nothing but a group of components of get together to form a one device that is called as signal. So we are going to explain the basic components of communication system. Communication is nothing but a transferring of information from one place to another place. So here we are going to discuss about the introduction to communication system. So these are the basic blocks. First one is information source, input transducer, transmitter, channel, receiver, output transducer, destination, and noise. So coming to first block, information source. Information source is nothing but whatever the data are going to be transmitted, that data can be taken from the information source. So it may be digits, alphabets, or symbols. That all are comes under the information source. So while transferring the information, it cannot be the information cannot be traveled as it is. So we are going to convert an electrical signal. Symbol in this information source is mainly concentrate on the symbol rate. Symbol rate is nothing but how many bits can be transferred. That is a symbol rate. So information source is nothing but whatever the data are going to be transmitted. That is the information source. So the output of the information source is the either message, sound, light, pictures, codes, etc. So the output of the information source is given to the input transducer. So the function of input transducer is before going to input transducer is first we're going to discuss about a transducer. A transducer is a device. So transducer is a device which is used to convert energy to other form. So here at the input side, we are going to use the input transducer. Input transducer is a device which is used to convert messages, sounds, light, or pictures converted into electrical signal. So this electrical signal can be the output of input transducer is a electrical signal. So this electrical signal is given to the transmitter. So that the main function of the transmitter is to transmit the signal in all directions. The main in the transmitter section, the main function is the modulation. Modulation is nothing but the instantaneous characteristics of carrier signal. It's varied accordance with message signal. That is called as modulation. So the output of the transmitter is given to the channel. So channel acts like a path between the transmitter and receiver. It may be in channel may be wire or wireless. And the output of the channel is electrical signal. It is given to receiver. The receiver will receive the particular signal and it is converted into a original format. Before going to original format, in receiver section, we are going to do the demodulation process. Demodulation is nothing but a recovery of original message signal from modulated signal. So we are going to get the original signal from a modulated signal. So in receiver section, the main thing is the demodulation process. So after that, the output of receiver is given to the output transducer. So at input side and output side, we are going to use the transducers for conversion process. By using this output transducer, we are going to convert the electrical signal into messages, words, sounds, pictures, light, etc. So the output of output transducer is given to destination. So destination is nothing but where you finally receive the signal, that is the destination. So in this one, the main part is the noise. So noise. Noise plays a major role in communication, discusses small disturbances. And if you see the diagram, noise is added in channel. If maybe wire or wireless, the noise is added. Noise is an unwanted signal which interferes with original message signal. So, so this is the basic block diagram of communication system. So communication is nothing but an end-to-end transformation. End-to-end transformation. We are going to transform the message from into other end. So the basic blocks is information source, input transducer, transmitter, channel, receiver, output transducer, destination, and followed by noise. So this is the introduction to communication system. So from this one, we have to know about what is in the signal, what is in the system, what is in the communication. So what are the different blocks of the communication and the operation of each block. So coming to next one. So next one is the modulation. So modulation is nothing but it is a process of varying the characteristics of high frequency carrier in accordance with the instantaneous value of modulating or message or baseband signal. Or modulation is nothing but that is the instantaneous characteristics of carrier signal is varied in accordance with message signal. So in this modulation, we are going to use the two basic signals, that is the modulating signal and the carrier signal. So modulating signal is a low frequency signal and the carrier signal is a high frequency signal. By using this modulating signal, you are going to transmit the data. So carrier signal is a high frequency signal which carries to a modulating signal. So this process is called as modulation. And the inputs of modulation is modulating signal and the carrier signal. Modulation is nothing but the instantaneous characteristics of carrier signal is varied accordance with message signal. So that is called as modulation. In modulation, the output of the modulation is modulated signal. In this one, normally modulation is used in the transmitter section before the channel itself. Demodulation is used in receiver section. So demodulation is nothing but the recovering of original message signal from modulated signal. So these are the two important techniques in communication, that is the modulation and demodulation. Again, so there are different types of modulation, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation. Amplitude modulation is nothing but the amplitude of carrier is varied according to message signal, while the frequency and phase is constant. Frequency modulation is nothing but frequency of the carrier is varied according to message signal, while phase and amplitude is constant. Phase modulation is nothing but phase of the carrier is varied according to message signal, while amplitude and frequency is constant. So this is the sum of the points regarding the modulation. So if you go with next slide, so this is the need for modulation. So why you go for modulation? So why you go for modulation? So these are some of the points to reduce the length or height of the antenna, and for multiplexing, uh, to reduce the noise effect, and to avoid the limitation or reduce the size of the equipment. So by using this modulation, we are going to get the disadvantages. We are going to reduce the height of the antenna, and multiplexing is nothing but more signals can be combined and can be transferred by using multiplexing. So this can be achieved by the modulation. And by using the modulation, you're going to reduce the noise effect and you are going to reduce the size of the equipment. And so this is the need for modulation. So those are the types of modulation. So modulations are of two types. One is continuous wave modulation and pulse modulation. In continuous wave modulation, again, it is a two types, amplitude and angle. Pulse modulation is the analog modulation and digital modulation. Angle modulation is the frequency modulation and phase modulation. And it is a PAM, PWM, and PPM. Industrial communication, you have PCM, delta modulation, differential pulse code modulation, adaptive delta modulation. So these are the types of modulations. And in a continuous wave modulation, the both message signal and the carrier signal will be continuous. Under this will have amplitude and angle modulation. So we already discussed amplitude modulation is nothing but amplitude of the carrier is varied while the phase and the frequency is constant. An angle modulation is two types, frequency modulation and phase modulation. Frequency modulation is nothing but the frequency of the carrier is varied according to message signal, while amplitude and phase is constant. Phase modulation is nothing but phase of the carrier is varied according to message signal, while the frequency and amplitude is constant. In pulse modulation, you have a PAM, PWM, and the message signal is a continuous signal and the carrier. Here, the message signal is a so here the message signal is a it's a form of zeros and ones, and the carrier signal is the high frequency signal. So PAM is nothing but pulse amplitude modulation. So pulse of amplitude of carrier is varied according to message signal. PWM is called as pulse width modulation. So width of the pulse is varied according to message signal. PPM is nothing but pulse position modulation. Position of the pulse is varied according to message signal. So again, in digital communication, we will discuss about PCM, delta, differential pulse code modulation, and have to delta modulation like that. So from this video recording, you get the points regarding what is from the signal system, what is the basic block diagram of communication system, and need for modulation and types of modulation. So thank you for this video.